Here are today's top stories. President Rodrigo Duterte permanently terminates negotiations with the CPP, NPA, NDF as he expresses preference for localized peace talks. Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture records about 1.3 billion peso damage due to El Niño. An economist sees a 6.4% GDP growth despite the government's reenacted budget. And ASEAN journalists are urged to hone their skills and exercise professionalism to curb the spread of fake news.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The peace talks between the government and the communist movement has permanently ended. President Rodrigo Duterte made the announcement as he expressed his preference for localized negotiations with the rebels. Gigi Arcilia Agtay has the story.
President Rodrigo Duterte officially announced the permanent termination of the peace negotiations with the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army, and National Democratic Front. Duterte made the announcement during the 122nd Philippine Army founding anniversary in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig on Thursday.
I am no longer entertaining any interventions or maybe persuasions in this democratic state of the Republic of the Philippines. My sense is that you can maybe talk to the next president of this republic one day.
President Duterte mentioned the government's preference to initiate localized peace engagements by involving stakeholders and communities in combating insurgency. He congratulated the military for their accomplishments in their operations in many parts of the country. He described the Army's accomplishments for the last 122 years as a testament of their unwavering commitment to defend the country's institutions and our democratic way of life. He urged government troops to intensify operations against communist terrorist groups so that more of their members will be convinced to surrender and return to the folds of the law. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Gigi Arcilia Agtay.
Presidential Peace Advisor Carlito Galvez Jr. says local peace engagements are more productive mechanisms to attain peace and address communist insurgency in the country. Galvez said the government seems like it is having a hard time to deal with the communist movement at the national level due to many demands the communists have been asking from the government. He believed that socio-economic packages and transitional justice will boost confidence to address the root causes of the insurgency and will convince rebels to return to the fold of the government. However, Galvez clarified that the peace talks are not terminated, saying members of the government negotiating panel will be reconstituted after the Joint National Peace and Order Council agreed to pursue localized peace engagements instead. The Armed Forces of the Philippines earlier said they are always supportive of localized peace talks. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, says Mindanao was placed under Category Red so that the government may be ready for any untoward incident during the May 13 elections. COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez says the COMELEC simply seeks to ensure utmost responsiveness to whatever need may arise. Though other places in the region are relatively peaceful, Jimenez says the COMELEC is not sure if they would not be affected by any election-related conflict that could erupt. The COMELEC declared the entire Mindanao, the entire province of Abra, Jones, Isabela, and Lope de Vega in northern Samar as election hotspots. The United Nations Annual World Happiness Report has ranked Philippines 69th happiest country in the world, 2 notches higher versus last year's 71st finish. The study was done in 156 countries and covered various factors of happiness such as income, trust, healthy life expectancy, generosity, freedom, and social support. Finland is top 1, followed by Denmark, Norway, Iceland, Netherlands, Switzerland, Sweden, New Zealand, Canada, and Austria. Philippines was also third happiest when ranked against its regional neighbors, next to Singapore and Thailand at 34th and 52nd spots respectively. The DENR focuses on river preservation as it celebrates World Water Day. And President Duterte recognizes the contributions of the Filipino Chinese. More on these and other news around the metro from Janice Cave.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources highlighted the importance of protecting the rivers in northern Mindanao in celebration of the World Water Day. The DENR hoped to teach the public the value of fresh water and to promote sustainable freshwater resources management. A cleanup drive was held at 7 water bodies in Barangay Macabalan, Cagayan de Oro City, followed by a covenant signing with government agencies, business sectors, academe, and other partners. President Rodrigo Duterte was given a first-hand look of the Philippine Army's newly acquired state-of-the-art equipment. The President toured the multi-purpose mobile treatment facility, which provides an operational military facility for mobile battalions. Duterte also visited the forward treatment facility that provides medical care during military operations, disaster relief, and humanitarian missions. In other news, the Valenzuela City government distributed over 200 new radio units to Barangay Marulas, General De Leon at Kanumay East. The radios will be used to improve peace and order campaigns in barangays with the highest populations in the city. The city government previously gave away over 100 tricycle patrols and 10 ambulances. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Still to come, about 1.3 billion pesos worth of agriculture are reported damaged due to El Niño. Economists say the country can still grow by 6.4% despite the government's reenacted budget. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ang estero ay nagsisilbing daluyan ng tubig na karaniwang makikita sa matataong lugar. Malaki ang papel na ginagampanan nito sa transportasyon, pagpigil ng baha at pagsasala ng mga kemikal na nagdudulot ng polusyon. Ang Metro Manila ay mayroong 273 estero na dumadaloy patungong Manila Bay. Ngunit halos lahat ng mga ito ay natayuan na ng kabahayan at ang iba naman ay nagmistula ng dump site dahil sa dami ng basura na itinatapon dito. Ang matindi pa nito, ang ibang estero ay nalalakaran na dahil sa mga tambak ng basura dito. Ang mga esterong ito ngayon ang isa sa dahilan ng matinding polusyon sa Manila Bay sapagkat ang mga basurang itinatapon dito ay diretsyong napupunta sa dagat. Upang malinis ang mga estero sa Maynila, patuloy ang pagsasagawa ng iba't ibang ahensya ng pamahalaan, pribadong samahan, komunidad, mga volunteers at iba pa ng mga cleanup activities. Nagsasagawa din ng information, education, communication campaign drive sa mga eskwelahan at komunidad sa Kalakhang, Maynila upang iparating ang kahalagahan ng estero at ang kanilang responsibilidad sa paglilinis nito. Noong taong 2010, inilunsad ng DENR ang programang Adopt an Estero na naghihikayat sa mga komunidad, pribadong kumpanya at lokal na pamahalaan na aktibong tumulong sa paglilinis ng mga estero. Sa kasalukuyan, mayroon ng 57 adopters ng mga estero sa Kalakhang, Maynila. May magagawa pa ba? Meron at meron. Ikaw, ako, At bawat isa sa atin ay may malaking papel na dapat gampanan sa pagkakaroon ng malinis na tubig at kapaligiran at sa laban tungo sa malinis na Manila Bay. Pagtuunan natin ng pansin ang paglilinis ng ating mga estero at makiisa sa mga isinasagawang programa ng pamahalaan at ng mga pribadong sektor. Ang simpleng pagbabawal sa pagtatapon ng basura sa estero, pagsasagawa ng mga cleanup activities, at pagsunod sa mga ordinansa ng lokal na pamahalaan ay malaking tulong upang makamtan ang malinis na kapaligiran. Pero kailangan ng pagkakaisa nating lahat upang may pagpatuloy ang nasimulan na. Dahil marami pang dapat gawin at marami pa tayong kayang gawin. Makilahok at makiisa tungo sa malinis na Manila Bay.
Journalists are urged to possess adequate skills and high standards of professionalism to curb the prevalence of fake news. Benj Bondoc files this report from Bangkok on how ASEAN journalists can take an active role in this campaign.
Journalists must possess adequate skills and high standards of professionalism to curb the prevalence of fake news. During the ASEAN workshop on addressing fake news held at the Amari Watergate Hotel Thursday, veteran Thai journalist Kavi Chongkitavorn said newsmen should avoid adding color and dramatizing the news and instead focus on improving their skills, particularly fact-checking. Dr. Masato Kajimoto, assistant professor at the Journalism and Media Studies Center of the University of Hong Kong, echoed the Thai media practitioner's remarks, noting the need for journalists to think of the way they tell stories. According to him, the components of quality journalism are verification, independence, accountability, and transparency. Meanwhile, Philippine Daily Inquirer columnist John Neri urged ASEAN journalists to look beyond the problem of disinformation on digital platforms and social media. Citing the latest We Are Social report released in January, Neri said an estimated 30 million Filipinos are not connected in the Philippines. The term fake news came into light in 2016 when US President Donald Trump used this to describe stories critical of his administration. This term, however, is seen as wrong by many as it misleads various stakeholders who stick to the idea that news, in the first place, must be factual. Dr. James Gomez from Singapore said fake news, as defined by Axel Gelbert, is a deliberate presentation of false or misleading claims as news, where the claims are misleading by design. The ASEAN region is home to a vast population of internet and social media users, with the Philippines topping in terms of average daily use of the internet and social media. With this, ASEAN countries have stepped up both legal and non-legal measures to fight the spread of fake news. In the Philippines, for example, the government, through the Presidential Communications Operations Office, has several programs that educate people to discern and to counter the spread of fake news and disinformation. Some of these programs include the Real Numbers, the Provincial Communications Officers Network, and Dismiss Disinformation. PCOO-attached agencies and their online platforms are used in the fight against fake news and disinformation. The workshop was organized by the Government Public Relations Department of Thailand and the Frederick Newman Foundation. For the PNA Newsroom, Benj Bondoc, Bangkok, Thailand.
Security Bank Corporation expects the Philippine economy to grow 6 to 6.4% this year, flagging concerns about the 2019 national budget. Chief economist Robert Dan Rosa said they are considering a 6.4% growth for the domestic economy as measured by gross domestic product this year. He said the growth rate can really go to as low as 6%, assuming that the budget gets passed around after April. If the government continues operating on a reenacted budget, domestic output can possibly slide due to a range of between 5.5% and 6%. Despite the budget issue, economic managers remain optimistic on the economy. Growth targets for this year are pegged at 6 to 7% and next year 6.5 to 7.5%. Onion farmers in Nueva Ecija have sought the help of the government amid low prices of their produce, with the top quality pegged at only 15 to 16 pesos per kilo. Former 2nd District Board member and farmer leader Joseph Ortiz said some traders would always question the quality of their onions in apparent reluctance to give them a good price. To gain profit, produce must be sold at 30 pesos per kilo. Meantime, imported onions are reportedly flooding the market. Ortiz said some frustrated farmers in the city would just leave their produce as garbage by the roadside. Others are forced to harvest them after a few days as farm gate prices continue to drop. The Office of the Provincial Agriculturist said at least 21,000 farmers have planted onions on over 11,000 hectares of land this year. The Department of Agriculture says the weak El Niño currently affecting the country has already brought about some 1.33 billion pesos in damage to crops. DA Undersecretary for Operations Ariel Cayanan said the volume production loss for rice was placed at about 41,000 metric tons, valued at 814.4 million pesos. On the other hand, damage to corn was placed at 512 million pesos, which is equivalent to about 37,000 metric tons in volume production. Cayanan said a total of 18.3 million pesos has been released for cloud seeding operations. Water pumps, power sprayers, and shallow tube wells were also being distributed to affected farmers. Cloud seeding operations have already started in regions 2, 11, and 12. An environmental group opposes the reclamation of Curimao Cove. Meanwhile, Sunsi Club class of 2019 graduated from the Philippine National Police Academy. More on this and other stories from the provinces from Janice Cave.
In Ilocos Norte, the local government unit of Curimao has found some ally in opposing the proposed reclamation project, as the issue has been posted in Facebook to promote greater awareness. The Save Curimao Cove from Reclamation page, created by an environmental conservation group in Manila on March 14, has generated an almost 1,500 likes as of Thursday, and the number of shares keeps on increasing daily. Curimao is known as a key biodiversity area and previously one of the unspoiled beaches in the province. In Bacolod City, a team from the Department of Agriculture and its attached agency, the Bureau of Soils and Water Management, are conducting an assessment of areas to be covered by the proposed cloud seeding. The department is assessing the south area of the province, including Kawayan Town, where rice farms are affected by extreme heat due to El Niño. Initial figures show 445 farmers in 5 local government units have incurred losses of almost 16 million pesos due to the prolonged dry spell. In Cavite, 201 cadets belonging to Sunsi Club class of 2019 graduated from the Philippine National Police Academy today. President Rodrigo Duterte graced the graduation ceremony as guest of honor. Cadet Jervin Allen Ramos, the class valedictorian, will receive the Presidential Campilan Award. Over half of the graduates will join the PNP, 41 will go to the Bureau of Fire Protection, while the rest will be part of the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Up next, the Quezon City government issues an ordinance regulating the sale and use of e-cigarettes. Subic Shoe Factory is hiring 1,500 more workers. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Magandang araw. Narito na naman ang inyong Bureau of Fire Protection upang magbigay ng mga paalala.
Ugaliing maglinis ng bahay 2 hanggang 3 beses sa isang linggo upang maiwasan ng sunog at anumang panganib. Pangunahing sanhi ng mga sunog ay ang overloading, butas o gasgas sa mga wires, maluwag na switch o receptacles, overheated na mga wires, dumi at alikabok sa loob ng mga outlet o maging ang mga mantika na maaaring pumasok sa loob nito. Maging mapagmatsyag, ang mga sumusunod ay ilan sa mga palatandaan ng mga maaaring pagmulan ng sunog. Patay sinding ilaw, mga sparks na nanggagaling sa mga koneksyon, pag-init ng wire, plug at ng outlet, ang pangangamoy sunog sa tuwing isasaksak ang mga appliances, kulay sunog at pangingitim ng mga switch o saksakan, ang palagiang pag-trip at pag-usok ng mga circuit breakers. Ang biglang pagbalik ng kuryente matapos ang mahabang brownout ay maaaring magdulot ng overvoltage, lalo na kung naiwanang bukas ang inyong mga linya. Palagiang inspeksyonin ang mga hose ng inyong mga LPG upang malaman kung ito ay butas o gasgas na. Siguraduhing nakasara ang regulator ng inyong mga tangke pagkatapos magluto, bago matulog o umalis ng ating mga bahay.
Ligtas na Pilipinas ang ating hangad, sunog ay nakamamatay, huwag maging biktima.
Subic Shoes Incorporated, the manufacturer of popular shoe brands like Vans and Keds, has committed some $6 million to expand its operations in Subic Bay Freeport. The company has leased a 29,400 square meter property to extend its existing facility at the Subic Bay Gateway Park Phase 2. Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority Chairman Wilma Aisma welcomed the development, noting that Subic experienced a downturn in employment last year because of the layoffs at Hanjin Shipyard. As of February this year, the company already employs 3,698 workers. Datian produces shoes under global brands like Keds, Converse, Sperry, and Vans for the American market, as well as for Hugo Boss and Dr. Martens for the European market. Electronic cigarettes or vapes are no longer allowed in Quezon City. City Ordinance 2737-2018 aims to fully protect the health and welfare of the residents of city and at the same time safeguard the interests of all stakeholders. The ordinance also bans vapes in places of worship, hospitals or other healthcare centers, public conveyances, government offices, and educational or recreational facilities primarily intended for minors. Under the said policy, vaping is only allowed in the public place with a poster allowing the use of e-cigarettes. The poster should be seen at the entrance of the gate. Private workplaces are allowed to designate a vaping area provided it is separate from the smoking area. The ordinance also regulates public conveyances, advertisements, and promotions of e-cigarettes in which it should not directly appeal to minors. Violators will be fined 500 to 1,000 pesos for the first offense, 1,000 to 2,500 pesos for the second offense, and 2,500 to 5,000 pesos for the third offense. And in sports, after a week of speculations regarding a possible venue change, the 5-on-5 basketball events of the Southeast Asian Games will take place at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City as originally planned. Last week, COO Tatsusara announced that the Philippine SEA Games Organizing Committee, or PHISGOC, is looking to bring the basketball games to the Phil Oil Flying V Center in San Juan City due to concerns over reserving the MOA Arena for the SEA Games slated from November 30 to December 11. This did not sit well with the basketball fans as they complained that the place can only fill up 5,500 fans compared to the MOA Arena that can accommodate up to 20,000. Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas President Al Panlilio vowed to bring nothing less than the best PBA talents to the SEA Games. He said the country is making sure to win a gold medal this time. Despite the government's intention to help our displaced brothers and sisters, some are opposing its efforts due to misinformation. Task Force Bangon Marawi has called on these detractors to know the truth and unite in rebuilding the city. Sweet Lukman from the PIA has the report.
Task Force Bangon Marawi Chairperson and Housing and Urban Development Coordinating Council Secretary Eduardo Del Rosario believes that some internally displaced persons are misinformed about the ongoing rehabilitation and recovery because of some people disseminating wrong information. Based on Secretary Del Rosario's initial assessment after the first day of the TFBM's consultation dialogue, there are IDPs who were misinformed about the ongoing Marawi rehabilitation and recovery. Also present during the consultation were Marawi City Mayor Mahul Gandamra, TFBM Field Office Manager and HUD-C Assistant Secretary Felix Castro Jr., TFBM Secretary General and National Housing Authority General Manager Marcelino Escalada Jr., Department of Social Welfare and Development Undersecretary Felicimo Budjongan, National Commission on Muslim Filipinos Secretary Saidamen Pangarungan, regional officials from Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Environment and Natural Resources and Armed Forces of the Philippines. The TFBM chair also said that the consultation dialogue aims to inform the IDPs about the updates and the real situation, the plans and what they can expect from TFBM. He also appealed to the people and groups spreading wrong information to stop and help in the rehabilitation instead. More than 1,000 internally displaced persons from the 12 out of 24 barangays of the most affected area of the city have assembled at the Lanao del Sur Provincial Capital Gymnasium to the start of the two-day Task Force Bangon Marawi consultation dialogue. The consultation continues the next day for the displaced residents coming from the 12 remaining barangays of Maa. Together with Wilnard Basilonia, for PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here are today's top stories.
President Rodrigo Duterte permanently terminates negotiations with the CPP, NPA, NDF as he expresses preference for localized peace talks. Meanwhile, the Department of Agriculture records about 1.3 billion peso damage due to El Niño. An economist sees a 6.4% GDP growth despite the government's reenacted budget. And ASEAN journalists are urged to hone their skills and exercise professionalism to curb the spread of fake news.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and website. And today marks the official start of the dry season according to Pag-asa. So let us do our share as citizens to conserve water so that we will have adequate supply throughout the dry season. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.